Another week down, guys. Feels good to be back. I've been playing some of my old decks just for the thrill of it, you know? Oh, I'm on, Sonya. Oh, that's a terrible hand to keep. Ooh. Hopefully they don't take my Buena. That'd really slow me down. That's pretty much my plan right now. Lucky for me, they didn't. Take a time, take a Slowbee. I wish I didn't. I could have drawn that Obliterator next turn. So many goodies ended up there. Oh. Yeah, this is looking like a loss here. Simply put, I've run out of cards to play. They're all in there or in here. Oof. Oh no, it's GG's, everybody. So we're taking them out, getting rid of them, bringing the cats home. Ah, bummer. Yeah, Brian wants me to put these shades on because it's a reference to Dungeon Crawler Carl. I mean, I don't really get it, but, you know. I feel like an idiot. I look like a jerk. Crack some Aether Drift while we're here. Ugh. Conquer vehicle, mill 2 cards, destroy chosen permanent if its mana value is less than or equal to number of cards in graveyard. That's a lot. I'm wearing it, Brian. You wanted me to wear it.
Announcement time?
Already? Well,
Sorry,
I mean, we...
announcement.
No, it's cool, it's cool. So, you know, good card. Can't use it, though. Alright, back on the ladder. Well, not the ladder, but you know. This is a much healthier rollout. I put braids in here, mostly to see if I couldn't whittle down the enemy. It almost makes me wish I had an enchantment of sorts to sacrifice, but I think it's just as useful. Definitely going for a 3-color. Unfortunately, all my answers here are for dealing, well, dealing with his side of the board, and I don't got anything right now. Alright, I can move on that. Although, Graveyard is where that card wants to be. I'll let him go in there. And since there's, well, there's an open field, might as well hammer home on it. Do I want to get rid of that? Is that important? Can't make any of these frogs strong enough to survive. I can see if he wants to make a trade. Let's go a little faster, sacrificing an artifact to draw a card. Put the glasses back on. Brian thinks they work on me. I don't think so. This crown's too small. It's barely forehead bling. Sonya's trying to make jokes. Yeah, the problem is jokes are to be enjoyed by other people. What do you think you are, Billy? You think you can just make comedy for your own sake? I know that you only laugh... You don't make jokes you wouldn't laugh at. Which is good, because no one else laughs at them. I'm sorry, Billy. It's the glasses. They make me look like a total jerk. Ugh. This is about birds, dude. All the birds are dead now, and we replaced them with drones. You know, I have actually heard of some necrobiotics project to, well, basically make, real fake birds. Yeah, I don't want it. Toxoplasmosis. Yeah, no, Billy couldn't think of a name of a parasite. I had to jump in. Yeah, I'm not winning this. I've let this guy's grand plan go on a little too long. Oh, that's a nasty little combo. Agus' Soul Crusher made all these plants, just about everything, really. I'm starting to miss Farewell. That card would have solved a lot of my problems. I have to make do with one of these. Game 4 life, exile, graveyard, blow up the cauldron. You know what? Sacrifice that creature. He'll do one too. Not getting the recursion I was hoping for. Yeah, definitely losing this one. Okay, that's enough. That's... Yeah, okay. Yeah, I get it. I get it. This thing's whispering to me like the Green Goblin mask. I don't want it. Eli, you're back. Yeah.
food.
Oh, sweet. Took it out today. All right, let me get this out of your way. Put it on this. Sonia, there better not be food scraps in this, because it's been here a day and it's unrefrigerated. Wait, Ranch's Dairy, Sonia. You're making blue cheese, Sonia.
Oh no!
Yeah. I'm gonna start the quick draft the Ixalan. I don't remember what. Oh, we take. Yeah, attack with one or more non-gnomes. Put a counter on it. Make a gnome. Yeah. Create a gnome. Use a gnome. Oh yeah, you don't like your. Don't want to burn your mouth or anything. I like this set a little better, as far as like knowing what I'm doing. I'm gonna take this tithing blade. It might be good removal. Tectonic has. Why haven't I seen this card played? Creature explores activate as sorcery. It's a pretty large body. Would have preferred an adaptive gem guard though. I think the Hunter's Blowgun, that could be useful. Yeah, I don't think this one's good, but I'll keep it here. And I'll pick that because it's in the colors. And you know what, another one? The fact that it's passed all the way around means it's probably not so great. Makes a treasure token when attacks. When you discover again for same value. I'll take the Plane Cycler for now. It's a decent card. Oh, if less than 10, that's not great. I'll be making artifacts a lot, so... Descend. Meaning... Yeah, I don't descend too often, so we'll take another tectonic hazard. Enters, sacrifice, put a 1/1 counter on 2 target creatures. No, it's not reusable. I'll keep it. Actually, buried treasure looks like fun. Runaway boulder. Take the greedy freebooter. Sacrifice another creature, lose 1 life, gain 1 life. Ooh. Gain hexproof. Yep. That should be pretty good. The Wanderglyph will probably help me pick through a little quicker. No attacks alone, gains Death Touch and Lifelink, but a Dread counter. This isn't good. It might be the push I need, though. Guys, discover 3. Oh, return mana value 3 or less from graveyard to battlefield tapped. Take it. Take another Dowser. Take a Gabo Tomb Raider. Sacrifice creature. I don't know. Finality counters scare me. So it is the best card here. Well, no, that's better. Whenever a creature attacks, target attacking creature with flying gains flying. Oh, right. We're gonna want to, loose in there. He says COVID, he means Red Letter Media. We're dumping on movie theaters, making fun of movie theaters.
Heck, I think the Red Box was already telling me about this time ago.
Like in the advertisements, or like just offering a better price point?
Just once you realize, hey, I just watched a movie.
Yeah.
Without having to
right?
Deal with a crying baby in the same line of crowded seats that I was.
Yeah. I don't think we need Diamond Pickaxe if we're playing so low to the ground. Got a couple non-creature spells. I like Hunter's Blowgun, so I'll keep that. flying till end of turn, then untap it. No. I need all the instants and sorceries I can hold on to, unfortunately. Thousand Moon's Crack Shot doesn't inspire hope in me. I like giving things haste. Dino Animation might not be for us. Yeah, we'll go like this. I didn't like throwing away the Reliquary, but 14 creatures, 9 non-creatures, mostly red. They go for it. Yeah, I think this is one of those sets I understood, so maybe the draft will go a little better. What is in here? Ketchup? Buffalo sauce. Yeah. Eli knows I like the buffalo sauce, and I know he doesn't like the buffalo sauce at all. Oh, that's far too... Boys are too small. I'll keep it, though. I have a nice, healthy land base. Ah. Sorcery speed? I wonder people don't play it much. Oh, yeah. Using it as napkins or tissues?
Tissues.
Yeah, because we use paper towels. Napkins. Oof. I mean, it's a good enough discovery. I have not pulled my my key card yet, though. You definitely went for like merfolk stuff. The wet elves, as some of us call them. You know, Tectonic Hazard be a good idea to get rid of that right now. I might double block this. Nope, they didn't. Alright, now that I got my artifacts out, my creatures have become large and a little scary. Ooh. Okay, I think this is working somehow. All right. The ability to tap my creatures to damage their health would have been very useful. Oh, looks like we've hit vault progress. I get a little splattering of wild cards. All pretty standard stuff, though. They did say they reworked how card collecting goes. Now, reprints are just restyles. If you have 4 of any type of that card, that counts as 4 from any set of that card. Which means reprints, well, means that you already have them. So whenever they reprint a card, you just get that one automatically. Great for the player. I wonder if it's good for their bottom line. Well, clearly it wasn't too much of a worry if they went for it, you know?
I don't know. I think they've got all of Hasbro's money funneling right into them, right?
Yeah. Hasbro has been talking about how they might leave the American toy market. Recent tariffs had been like a good excuse for that, but I remember hearing it was struggling, you know, long before. You know, now there's an excuse.
Come to think of it, there have been for like odd action figures and things on the market from Hasbro.
Yeah, I've done the action figures suck now, right? Right? Like the giant Darth Vader that's impossible to play with. Because it doesn't fit in any of my Jeeps or my G.I. Joe attack helicopters or...
Yeah, they used to all be like...
It's a doll. It is a doll.
What's the word?
There's nothing toyetic about it.
They used to all be like standardized, basically. Like you could use them all in the same way that another thing.
Oh,
you
like
put them
there was
into
a
the same
standard.
toys.
Yeah, there was a standard action figure size.
Standard size, standard number of joints, depending on the cost.
I mean, there's still that. It's just they decided to make a foot-tall Darth Vader for no good reason.
Yeah, I remember having like a foot-tall Spider-Man toy at some point,
Yeah.
and its only gimmick was that the arms moved a little, and when you pressed the spider on its chest, it would say some corny phrase.
Oh yeah, well, electric action figures, that's like bog standard, but
Yeah, that's like
in our
tying your
brilliant
shoelaces.
age of microchips and supercomputers, there's no reason we have to make them so big.
Huh. You know, did you ever hear the story behind the old X-Men action figure line?
Oh, how they're not human, so they don't have that markup.
Yeah, they were gonna get marked up because they were dolls, but then you know,
Yeah.
Marvel went out and said, no, they're not humans, so they're not
And that's
dolls,
why
they're action
Magneto is so
figures."
angry about it, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, writers didn't even learn the point this time.
Well, I don't. Well, it's not the writers that
The
make.
executives
Yeah.
didn't understand it.
I mean, that would not have flown in our day and age, considering that like, the humanhood of the X-Men is like,
The thing.
yeah, it's part of, it's a integral theme of the story. I'm not gonna discard anything.
Also, if your X-Men action figure has such little stuff going on that it can be confused for a regular doll, clearly failed to make an action figure.
I kind of considered that. But I guess back in that day, there maybe wasn't a distinction between action figure and doll.
No, there was. That was why there were, like, actual taxes.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, no. I'd want to leave the American toy market too, Hasbro. Have you seen what the Japanese have been putting out? Stuff's incredible. They got like little buildable Gundams with like multiple points of articulation.
I feel like the other issue is that if you've got a 3D printer at home, you can make anything that Hasbro would sell you as an action figure with like a simple AutoCAD, you know, what's the word?
Doodad and whatchamacallit, yeah.
It's like, if you got the right programs.
Luckily, we're still in the age where the 3D printer is kind of a novelty. So,
Yeah.
so wouldn't you try to make like, I don't know, just your toys? Well, not unprintable is the word. Like, you would want to become a brand name in it, right? You know, Hasbro should mean quality, and it doesn't.
Yeah. All that I can remember Hasbro selling a lot of is like gimmick Monopoly boards.
Yeah, they really went hard in on the board games. Yeah. I mean, so did we. I think we've doubled our board game stock since
Yeah, we got like
5 years.
2 whole board game shelves just right here. This isn't even the board game section. This is the comics section. They're like stacked on board games right.
Yeah.
You should check them out.
Yeah, no, if you're in the area, dude, come on down. Look at our board game.
Even have board game nights, but those are uncivilized, rowdy events.
Yeah, if you
when
think
push it.
if you think you're cool enough for board game night,
Now, if you think you're strong enough for board game night,
you have the strength and will to come to our board game night. Let us know.
5 board game night.
Yeah. I have been thinking about trying to push like an all-night gaming event where we just lock the doors, no one leaves until the sun comes up.
Oh, that would be terrible.
Yeah.
What's your target audience for that? Doesn't everybody who has the option to do anything like
shut-ins that want to push the envelope. It's like gonna be a one-night thing, you know? Like we'll pick a summer night and
Never again.
yeah, and then like we'll need like a year or two to recover from that.
See, the issue is we're right next to a really busy street, and I don't trust a bunch of people who just spent the whole last night playing video games to be able to make it back home.
Guess we'll need the bus service again.
I also don't trust everybody here to stay awake through the whole thing.
Alright, we need to start blocking like we mean it. Cause,
You do, actually.
yeah. Yeah, I think this is GG's. Strong first showing. Maybe I shouldn't have kept the hand. Yeah, Tectonic Hazard isn't pulling the weight I thought it would. So maybe we rip that out and replace it with more, Scryitude.
Scryitude?
Yeah, well, it enters, you scry, you can craft it with an artifact, and the guy has flying, so... Sunshot Militia's been putting in the work, though. You know, since we're playing pretty low to the ground, let's go down on the plains. Admittedly, that dinosaur is just there to have some flying support later on.
Hey, we got something. Yeah.
Hey, Moop, what's up? How's it going? Dude, I took some time, straightened out my Moon Ranch. Also, 3-1 in this draft. Yeah, hopefully I have the same luck. I have not been good at Tarkir Dragons. Yeah, I don't think I know how to draft either, Moop. You're in good company. Should not have kept. Actually, no, maybe I should have. Tallies could be anything. Oh, sorry. 1 and 3. Yeah. Oh. Hey, well, I won once, so, you know. Not bad. Although recently I feel like they've been just giving me pity wins, you know. Yeah, I'll order it like that. I mean, hey, quick drafts are supposed to be cheap and easy, so works for me. No blocks on that, thank you. Throw away the Hotfoot Gnome. I want to craft a flyer. Doesn't look like he has great air defense right now. He just tied me down. I don't have anything that can remove that enchantment, though. Exile it from the field. Put that pickaxe too. I don't know if that was an effective use of my resource, but here I am. Oh, that scares me. That could blow up my artifacts pretty damn quick. Block that at least.
Feel free to
I
take
might.
some.
You know what? I might.
Yeah, another bonus. If you come down to the store on a Friday night, you can steal fries from me.
Yeah, I mean...
I have too many.
Yeah, no, you can never finish all of these.
No one can finish a whole tin of sweet potato fries.
A lot of fries. Alright, they're gonna hammer me out. A bummer. Two non-interact artifacts, put 1/1 counters on it. Have them both. Kind of like this tap 2 artifacts thing. I didn't think I would, but having 2 artifacts is pretty easy to achieve.
Yeah, it's not a huge prerequisite. And
No,
that's
no.
it. How's the advantage square up against like tap 1 kind of thing?
Like I said, I'm a big fan of material-based play. You know, we'll slap it on the field, get value out of it. Speaking of...
Yeah, just getting the tap 2 artifacts for a bonus seems like a
pretty swell deal.
yeah. It's all around good. It's not like it's a cost to break out the artifacts.
You don't lose them, you just tap them.
Yeah, all you gotta do is just
Oh,
plan
sure.
your play around artifacts, which I think plenty.
Oh,
you
sure,
can do
there's
plenty of already. That's like always been a valid play in Magic.
Yeah, I mean, sure, like there's an opportunity cost, like I can't use those treasure tokens. And I can't re-tap those equipments, but you don't tap equipments often. That was free.
Handily, it's also not one of those kinds of plays that requires a certain card. Like in this case, the adaptive gem guard, right? That's the one that requires tap 2 artifacts.
Well, there's a lot of built around it. Like we got the okay, so that one crafts with an artifact. This one taps 2. This one taps 2 to get bigger.
Yeah, but there's a couple of cards that tap 2 artifacts. Even when you don't have those around, the artifacts still have uses. Like you can mix these things together.
Oh,
and
no.
you'll still get a very
Yeah.
serviceable deck,
Yeah.
even if you never draw these cards.
Artifacts is artifacts. Or treasure tokens. Now he's gonna have to block, or he could just give up. Hey, 2 wins. That's a little above par for me these days.
Yeah, you're
Look
on
at
a roll
that.
here.
Yeah. Going in again. There's really not a lot of choices to make after you build the draft deck. Well, and you continue to win. When you lose, you're always staring at the cards, wondering if there's something you missed. Did I put the Reliquary Rose in there? No, having to sacrifice a creature to cast it. Steep. I don't think this is a good idea. They're very good call. Wait, no, there's our 2 artifacts. I'm gonna keep and clench. Hope a plane shows up.
There's a small hurdle to make it over. That's
Oh, you put a lot back.
what's he done?
Went down to 5 cards.
Oh,
Okay, so
that's a choice.
yeah, sometimes you just don't have the cards for it. Looking like a mono blue mill. I don't know how effective that is.
Well, we're gonna find out
I suppose
soon
we are,
enough.
yeah. Oh, whenever this guy taps, you don't even have to attack with him. If you tap him with, artifact stuff,
Hey,
that is nice. There's
what's
our
he,
planes.
What's he doing every time he taps, though? That's the
You can draw and discard.
nice.
Not bad at all. Especially when you want to pick through your deck for the good stuff. Thousand Moon Infantry. I want to hit this to hit the field pretty soon. It has Strange Vigilance. I can untap it during their untap step.
Huh.
Basically, it's tap fuel for Sunshot Militia. Oh yeah, and a lot of these tap 2 artifacts can also tap things that are distinctly not artifacts. Nah. I'm gonna hold on.
You've got all the cards you need right now.
Yeah. I'm not really sure what I'd need to close this out anyway. I think I might be able to win on attrition. Okay, so that
is where we start seeing what this guy's got.
Alright, so he's made it useless in attacking.
It can at least still tap, so
no.
it's not entirely useless.
No, I got things to do with it. Get that Thouser Rod out there. Beast up the sucker. Tap itself and Wander Griff. Oh, look, it triggers because I tapped it. I didn't even have to attack with it. Now I can, yeah.
Hey.
And I got 1 damage from my trouble too. That's the kind of interplay I was missing in Magic the Gathering. I'm glad it's here. Oh, there. Okay, well we're gonna lose one of these. Kinda wish it was the other one. What can you do about it though? I don't know, yeah, that card is... Oh! It's not... There's some green in there. There is some green in there. Look at that. At this point, I think we try to get to the Soaring Sunwing. And... in the meantime, you know... No, this is a lot better than the drafts I was having in Tarkir.
Yeah, there's delightful amounts of interplay here.
Yeah, no. It's fun. I wish they'd stick around to let me test that I actually have something good and I'm not just putting on a show. Sometimes I feel like I win by bluffing.
Hey, a show is something good.
Yeah, you can win by bluffing. There's a whole gambling industry around.
Doctor Who did that for like 3 seasons.
Oh yeah, this is all going somewhere, trust me. And they're still doing it.
Oh, I don't just mean the plot-wise. I mean, like, every time the Doctor shows up, it's like, oh, you better not mess with me. I'm the Doctor.
I do.
You know how many terrible things I've done? He hasn't done one in
a while, yeah, but he has
years, but
he has a track record.
Yeah, he's got this incredibly long list of people he's murdered and stuff, but like...
We never saw it.
I think he stopped.
Well, he did drown that spider lady and all her babies. We're gonna eat the universe, though. Something like that.
The Rachnos thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good choice.
He told her not to.
We asked the first time.
He asked real nicely, and you know what? She turned it down. You know?
Yeah, we had an offer. You said no. Now we're gonna drown you in lava or whatever.
Yeah, I think it might have been normal water.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's all.
And he just stood and watched. Because, you know...
That's kind of unimpressive. I think if your big
most
villain can be killed by some lousy seawater...
Well, most spiders can be killed by water. Get down to it.
Yeah, but most spiders are not super villains. I don't think you could kill Lex Luthor with water that easily. I think he's got a contingency plan for that.
He can swim, right? I feel like Lex Luthor can swim. An ego
and
like
he's got
that,
no drag on his head.
Yeah, an ego like that, you would learn to swim.
He's definitely planned for that occasion.
If Superman makes me, get wet, then what?
Aha, Superman, your Kryptonian physique may allow you to jump long distances, but can you float in water? I think not.
Actually, the idea that Kryptonians don't float could be fun.
Yeah, he has to, like, consciously fly whenever he goes into a body of water.
For a couple years of his life, Clark Kent didn't know how to swim, and he was terrified of the water. For good reason, because he would have just sunk like a rock.
I mean, he can hold his breath, so he just walks across the Great Lakes.
He didn't think it was a problem, but everyone else was, like, so worried that this kid hadn't come up for air.
I do love this idea of, like, Clark Kent menaces the people who need to take care of folks in danger, like lifeguards, other like emergency services, cops. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, that kid's dead."
He just sits up. It's like, no, I'm fine.
Sorry, you were saying something? I fell asleep. You were at the bottom of the deep end of the pool. Yeah, well, I
took a nap down
it's
there.
kind of comfortable. I took a nap. Apologies.
Well, since Clark's a good kid, he'd always be so apologetic about it. And they're like, I can't be mad at this kid, because, like, I was concerned about him, and, you know, yeah.
Mr. Kent, you just blew up the swimming pool by jumping in it. Well, gee, I'm sorry. I didn't know it would happen.
I mean, the first time you can get away with it. You know, it's a good
Yeah,
thing.
once you've done it twice, then you're clearly just doing it for fun.
Yeah. Good thing that Clark was such a well-behaved kid, because, you know, he could hold his breath pretty much indefinitely. So, like, if he tried that classic negotiating tactic, they probably, you know...
I think he died.
Yeah, they'd probably fold. Or he'd get bored. That'd be a good twist on it.
That would be kind of funny.
I held my breath for a week once because I was bored.
Sage, they managed to press their jump button. I did my teleport forward, and then I get rescued back
I don't
to the
want to plain
boss,
cycle it.
and then they panic, target someone else, and then jump to them, leaving me in the dead center of the arena. I died.
Oh, mime time.
Oh, announcements, yes.
Mime.
Oh no, this is... I'm in my element with this.
Hey, you're rolling here.
Yeah, I feel great.
Wow.
This might be the best game of Magic I've had in, well, at least 3 days.
Definitely the best draft I've seen you play in a while.
Yeah, this could go almost of the way, you know?
For once, I think you could actually make it past the halfway point successfully.
Yeah,
This is
no, and on
impressive.
camera. Not like,
Yeah.
take my word for it, I'm good at video games.
Yeah,
no,
it's no
I
good
could do it.
It's no good if you do it on your own time, because, like, I could say I did it on my own time, and I'm sure someone on the internet would believe me, because I don't think the whole internet yet has figured out that I don't know what this game is. Seriously, what is it? Like, is this like a new variant on Uno or something? I know there's cards involved.
I would describe it as Uno-esque. Like a couple more colors than what I'm used to. Yeah.
How many cards do you need to win?
I like the idea of describing Magic the Gathering in terms of Uno. Just as a goof.
Well, no. I think at that point you resolved something a little more. I think what would fit more as a way to describe Magic the Gathering would be described in terms of blackjack.
Oh yeah.
Because it is all about higher number, right?
Yeah. And there is kind of like a blind guessing element. Like, do I guess that he has any cards that can damage
Yeah.
my cards?
Does he have any good cards in that deck of
Oh,
his?
this might be one of those cards.
Oh my!
Okay, I was holding on to this, and I think I'm gonna see that I was holding on to it for a good reason.
Yeah, this was
Show me a planes.
a secretly.
Ah.
Oh, well.
Well, sometimes the gamble doesn't come up right, so, you know. Hey, we could draw the out. We could draw the out. And when we play it, we're going to be refunded 3 life, so...
It does
No.
seem unlikely that you'll be taking 14 damage anytime soon. Hey!
There it is. Drew the out.
Time.
Of course, this plays in nothing with our artifact gambit, but, you know... Hitting them twice with this creature would end the game. But, you know, look at all that nice black access. That's the color of removal.
That's also some real cool art. Who
Oh,
is
yeah.
that?
That's from the Kamigawa release. I know that much.
Ah. Yeah.
And
They always
these-
do nice
That's
work
from
when they toss.
Infinity.
It's always nice to see them when they
Don't
bring
know where
in.
that came from.
bringing people from like Asia to break into
It almost
these markets. It's
you know,
always had good results,
also-
I think, in the Western media.
it also lends kind of an air of authenticity, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Once
there
you
it
can-
is. There's the color removal for you, everybody.
Oh,
And now
now we're not so sure.
now all the confidence has left me.
But I think once you convince someone from Japan to come in to draw art for you, that's when you know you've hit it big.
No, yeah, it's even more when like they just show up.
Yeah, if they offer their services.
Yeah, no. I mean, the best way to get me to do something is like be really cool and ask me to do it.
Yeah.
But it doesn't work if you're lame. If you're lame, I'll just ignore you.
But like, I think that's what distinguishes being, successful and famous from being,
Just
not-
famous.
well, yeah, famous but not successful is whether people come up to you to come to your business to ask if you would want them to hang around, rather than you going out to people asking if they would be happy to hang around with your business.
Yes. Oh. Right. Oh well.
Because if your lot requires like that much personal advertisement, nah, you're not.
Yeah, this is
You're
kind
not
of like
in-
anyone
you
that has
haven't
to
found
say
success
they're a
yet.
moral person probably isn't. Anyone that has to say they're cool probably isn't.
Yeah.
Anyone who
Anyone
has to
who's-
say if they're well liked
Yeah.
isn't.
If they say that you really love working with them, don't take them at face value.
No.
Or
If you have, like,
you can take them at
history,
face
you know?
value, but do not take them. Do not trust that their word will turn out to be the truth. They probably believe it. I don't know if
You should.
yeah. You shouldn't blindly.
All right, this is coming down to the wire here. I should not have swung out with adaptive gem guard. I'm gonna
Oh.
be kicking myself. Oh. But I need the creature. Like, I'll take the damage. I'll live at 1.
You can come back from that.
Ah, no, I can't.
Oh my.
Put 2 damage on him. Oh, actually, that's kind of a bad move on his part.
Huh.
I'm gonna untap on his turn, and now I have a blocker.
Oh, you can save
Yeah,
yourself.
if he just had let me.
That
deal
that
the
thing doesn't have
damage.
trample, does it?
No. And,
Oh, how's that?
Yeah, no. I mean, I lose the creature either way, but you know, we'll block to survive and hope for a solution. Yeah, no,
Alright.
this one's gonna be a wash. Pretty well
It
built
wasn't a
deck,
total
actually.
flop, though.
No, I could have. This is good counterplay. Wait.
Hey, we do have 2 untapped artifacts.
Okay, so we can get 1 damage on him this turn. And he doesn't have trample, so he's gonna have to swing at me. You lose again, Clyde?
No.
He lost
Killed
again.
the murder. I murdered him.
Yeah, Clyde's telling me about all the violence he did and how good he was at it. He's slightly transparent. I didn't notice that. I didn't know I made us transparent. I don't think anyone else did.
What do you mean?
Look,
I
you
am
can
a
see. You can see through the
ghost.
Clyde a little.
Huh. And he
I'm a
shot his shirt as
ghost.
like slightly green.
Is it?
Nah, I don't think it is.
I mean, oh wait, there might be some. It's reflective, but it's not green. Oh,
It's
no.
just whatever color the lights are.
They're making plays, and
Oh, something's happening.
vehicle can't be blocked if there's 8 or more permanent cards. All right, well we gotta keep ourselves in the fight here.
Nothing else to do but block at the moment. Oh,
Creature attacks while you control 2 or more. Gets 1/2. No, I can't attack with it though. I got nothing else. I gotta keep throwing stuff in the way, and they're definitely gonna crew this vehicle and just swing for the win.
they've definitely got plans, so... Yeah, this is why you always gotta have more than 1 card in your hand.
Yeah,
Because you can...
unblockable, baby. That's it.
Oh,
Good game. Just invite him in. No.
going out in a blaze.
Yeah, no, I think it was a good showing for his deck as it was mine.
Yeah,
That was fine.
we figured out what can beat your deck, and frankly, not much.
I mean, it's not a perfect deck. It's just good.
Yeah,
I
if
might,
it, if it wins 3 out of 4 times, that's a fantastic deck
yeah.
compared to what you usually get in a draft.
We might go 3 and 3. I'm gonna take a little bathroom break first, though. Cody, you wanna bother the stream people for a little bit? Yeah, I'm going to the bathroom and I'm gonna leave this all undefended. So, yeah.
What?
He's got it. Yeah, Eli could do it too, but like you read Dungeon Crawler, Carl. You got stuff to say.
What? Oh, am I just supposed to, like, do an ad segment here or something?
No, a little bit of deck.
Good evening. Let me think of something good to ask the audience first.
There are spiders in your walls. There's spiders in your walls. Get them out. Get them out. Burn them out.
Thank you for that, Clyde. Okay, what's happening with comics right now? Cause like things are getting things are getting odd. I've noticed that Marvel in particular, but also DC, and presumably whoever's at Image doing their Image stuff and hasn't decided to just open a webcomic yet. They're doing big changes sometimes. Like, as they brought Gwen Stacy back as a gimmick, which is odd and probably won't last, but then again, Spider-Man's not with MJ anymore, so you know, some of the heavy hitters at Marvel and DC have been undergoing continuity changes, things like that. The Summer of Superman has brought some odd stuff. Not too much yet, because it's not technically legally summer. But, you know, it's a notable event in comic history. But overall, I feel like something is... it's affecting a lot of comics, and I can't place my thumb on where exactly this is going.
Oh, I don't mean to force you out. Yeah, yeah, we are. Do you want to do a quick little announcement? Yeah, we had a good draft, Sonia. We're actually winning. Enjoy. Well, I think what's happening with comics, as you put it, is they're not good. Like that's the long and short of it. Like it's.
No, I've seen good comics these days. I just noticed that, like, a lot of the good ones are not the heavy hitters that I'd expect. Like, I think World's Finest is overtaking actual Superman comics in terms of quality. Like, the Superman-Batman team-up is back after 60
However long,
years. Man, I think before these series, last time I can remember Superman and Batman being like in one of those all-star team-up sort of things was in those 50s comics when DC was still calling itself National. So
I think a lot of the problems is. Well, I put it on the heads of three. One, the characters are too old and have too many good stories. It's kind of hard to break them. Two, writers are ashamed of writing comic books. Not all of them, but the ones who are ashamed, you can tell. And three, well, it's just not a very good price point these days, right?
I would say, okay, on the Well, on the third point,
I will provide
yeah,
no
it's-
examples of this.
The third point, I got no way to refute that. Comics have always been on sort of an iffy bent once the price went above 10 cents.
Yeah, no, 10 cents is a steal. If you, but these days,
Well, 10 cents is a steal for the reader. Now, $8 is a steal
no,
at the hands
no,
of...
that's not a steal. That's theft. I'm being stolen from.
Yeah.
Also, it was always like half ads, you know? Even when they were 11 cents, they were half ads.
Yeah, if you took out a bunch of the ads that nobody's gonna read, because the ads are never impressive. Although, I will say this, the ads used to be for, like, random crap that they thought would appeal to kids. Nowadays, it's other comics. So, I guess that's points for knowing your target audience?
Feels like
Maybe?
comics have just kind of become a pyramid scheme, though.
Well, I wouldn't call it a pyramid scheme. It's like it's a foot in the door salesman trick. Like oh, we
vertical
got you to
integration.
pick up this one Ultimate Spider-Man comic. Do you want to read Web of Spider-Man? Do you want to read Amazing Spider-Man? Would you like to read the new Spider-Man team-up? Would you like to read the new issue of the Avengers featuring Spider-Man? You gotta, like, once you pick up a single comic, the entire goal is to get you to buy the rest of the comics in the series. And that's how it's always been. But then, well, I mean, it all started with continuity back in, like, the 40s when, you know, the JSA suddenly said, hey, like, these superheroes, they're all in the same universe. They just, like, don't usually hang out with each other, but now they do. Once you got that, all of a sudden, we started to build this larger network where you had to know everything that was happening in each different section of the universe to understand each new comic.
And that just forced people to spend more money on more comics about a smaller group of characters?
Well, no, it's not. It's you gotta know a larger group of characters, or rather a larger group of comic lines. Like you gotta know a lot of different series and what's happening in each of them. But then this sort of okay. Overall, this loops into a larger issue where I think the comic book industry is cannibalizing itself, so to speak. Like it.
Moved all the coal to Newcastle?
No. The coal's not going anywhere. It's just that the coal is actually compressed carbon from what was burning off the original flame.
Oh, it's no longer
that's
coal.
being fed into the original flame. Yeah, we're reusing all the same good
Oh,
stuff.
it's not cannibalism, it's incest. Which is another thing to avoid if you are ever
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
Oregon Trail.
All we need to do is just pick something really bad that involves interacting with oneself, and we're good. So yeah, incest. Incest is a good way to describe what's happening to
Yeah.
the canon, because they're taking
Yeah.
all the stuff that worked previously, and they just keep recycling it. Like, hasn't Red Hood gotten really angry? Jason Todd has gotten really angry and tried to kill the Joker at least like 3 or 4 times now.
At this point, I say maybe we let him. You know?
I mean, he's
Clearly, he's not gonna stop.
he was Batman's sidekick. He totally could have. Like, there's no good explanation for how he hasn't already just nailed the Joker by now. Like, just, you know, shot him in the back of the head while he was driving away from a crime scene someday. It should be really easy. Like, the whole point in Batman was, like, if Batman decided to start killing, the Joker would be the first to go because he's got no powers and no special protection. And Jason Todd is at least half of Batman's skills combined with extreme willingness to kill the Joker. They should have this one in the bag. But no, they keep replaying the storyline. Or
is he gonna do it? Is he gonna finally kill the Joker, guys?
or Jesus, look at Spider-Man. He's been around since 1962, and he bounces back between 25 and 16.
Oh yeah, he just can't get older.
That's not nice to Mr. Spider-Man.
Well, to be honest, they have been tormenting Mr. Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, there's also the matter that the writers hate Peter Parker's guts, and apply
for no
every
good reason,
bad thing
it
happening
seems.
in their lives to him.
Yeah, it seems like it's just he's just like a target for misery, and like,
Well,
they got rid of his marriage.
it's my understanding is that all the recent Spider-Man writers use Spider-Man as a way to complain about whatever they're going through by just having him go through it.
Like if Spider-Man got IBS, it's because the writer got IBS. Yeah.
Yeah. Next you'll see like Spider-Man gets herpes will be a whole issue.
Yeah, and they're like spider herpes. Yeah.
Because of course it is.
Because like he's got that radioactive spider bite.
Yeah. Just like that time that Spidey's just gave MJ radiation poisoning.
I wasn't gonna bring that up, but yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
Wait, which writer was venting from his own life with that? Oh no!
I'm not sure. I hope
that guy's all right. I hope his girlfriend's all right. Her
'cause
boyfriend.
that would be an interesting story.
Yeah.
Whatever really happened. The story itself was not that good.
No, but
But-
like, yeah, you would hear about that, right? Like,
What?
that'd be in the news.
But yeah,
Yeah.
if it were really possible, I feel like this would be a scientific revelation. Because then you've got a real live radioactive man, which isn't that's scientifically notable. Like that would make Guinness World Records at least. Like you'd find that in some book of impressive people.
It would at least make the midnight news, right?
No, you'd at least see it on TLC.
Oh yeah.
If nothing else, you'd
Got 'em.
see someone talk. You'd see an interview with them there, because they'll interview anyway.
Because by Plum, that's interesting. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not telling you. Data mine me. Make it work for your feed.
But now,
Oh, you know how like everyone's addicted to data. Poll this, vote for your favorite this. This is how many songs on Spotify you've watched, listened. I don't know. Point is, everyone,
good point. I never noticed
everyone
that.
is always surveilling you and getting everything you're doing, and then they have the gall to turn around and ask you yet more questions. No, one or the other. Either ask for my feedback and don't surveil me, or surveil me and shut up. Just shut up.
I do feel like if you're surveilling me, you should have no reason to start asking me all these questions. And if you want to surveil me, why don't you just start asking me the questions in the first place? Because if that information is being delivered in a trustworthy manner, if you're actually handling my information in any trustworthy way, then I have no reason to lie to you.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I would, if YouTube came out and was like, yo, dog, I'm just gonna ask you straight up, you like video games? You watch a lot about them. Do you like them?
Yeah, like if you just started asking me about, like, anything I do on the internet, and you said, hey, we're all
pals here, right?
well,
I
if-
mean, I
if
would
you
probably
said-
say, get out of my house. Don't talk to me, YouTube, but,
It hinges on two things. Firstly, if you said, hey, after you finish doing this, we're gonna sell all of this data to an information broker,
And
who's gonna sell it to somebody else, and it's gonna go on like this,
Yeah.
then I'd be uncomfortable with it. But I do know that's what they're doing with the data they surveil
they are
from
taking,
me.
right? So, I mean, at this point, I would just rather, like, hey, yeah, this is what we sold. Because then I could lie to them. Yes, no, I own 30 dogs. I am a 70-year-old woman, and, yeah. And I am very interested in, I don't know, Tamagotchi lore. Boom. Yeah.
I am a little concerned that I somehow managed to fool the internet into thinking that I'm a woman. But honestly, it's pretty great because they stopped giving me all those most realistic game ads.
Oh, yeah, no, I still get those. I keep getting the
Yeah.
gay test. No, are you gay? How gay are you? Here's a gayometer.
You click the ad and it just sends a gay man straight to your house to
Yeah.
ask you.
And he looks at you up and down. He's like, yeah, you dog.
Dude, I'm certain.
Ja, yeah. Who's your gay science expert? Who's like I mean, when it was like gay test, like you're either gay or you're not. But now it's like got a gay meter. You can
Yeah.
be degrees of gay.
Well, at least they now appreciate the Kinsey scale to a certain extent.
What I'm saying.
That's more scientific, actually.
Look, I like the idea of like putting numbers on things, but then again, every time someone puts a number on me, I get really freaking pissed off. I get to do it, you don't.
Putting numbers on gay people is precisely what the Germans used to do.
Yeah, they put numbers on a lot of people. Be honest.
So maybe we shouldn't.
Yeah, no, that's.
I think aside from purposes of discussing things with
Yeah.
other
No,
gay
helps.
people.
It helps to put numbers on things. It's just when you start, going only on the numbers, do we start having questions? And
As long as you don't start saying I'm a 35 or I'm a 72, if you don't start speaking in numbers instead of speaking in your identity.
You can't forget the human elements. You know,
Yeah.
just
Also, another notable thing, being gay wasn't always a concept, and I think it might have been better when it wasn't.
like gayness was just something you did.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
you could like choose to.
Yeah,
It was like from
everyone-
day to day.
Yeah.
Am I gonna have gay sex or am I gonna have straight sex? And you could do either one, and people would just be like, "Oh, there he goes having gay sex again."
Guess he's gay today. Or no, he's doing gay. It's like Genius. Wait, you weren't a genius. You had a genius.
Yeah,
come
I
to
had
you.
a genius idea.
Yeah.
I did something smart.
Yeah,
I'm not. It's not that I am intelligent. It's that I do intelligent things.
I had a gay today. I don't think we're putting the genie back in the bottle, but
Oh no, it'll be hard. Unless like civilization gets wiped out, this one's kind of fixed now.
Yeah, how do you people feel about like undoing all of human progress in an attempt to get a better start? Because I'm not into it. I think we've had to claw our way up like a lot, and
Shall we mulligan civilization?
I don't think we should mulligan. I don't think we should go back. I think maybe we try to go from here.
Yeah. I think we
Redo.
we gotta go from where we are.
Yeah. I like the idea of a mulligan on the entirety of civilization. All of it? Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that can make for like a fun, goofy version of the Twilight Zone episode where it's like,
Do it again.
Do you want to like start your life over just with all the experience you've got, or are you gonna continue from here?
What? Yeah, you get a do-over.
You know how they say there are no second chances? Well, they are wrong. This is your second chance.
No, this is literally a second chance for you.
Assuming you take it, like you could.
Wait,
you
does
could keep
everyone
running
get this?
with your
Oh no,
crap
every
life.
human being gets this choice. It's just, who knows who really chooses it. Actually, do I retain memory? No. Just start again.
Well, assuming that no other factors change, like if it resets back to the time of birth, then, I mean, things dictate that it should play out almost exactly as it already went, right? If not perfectly exactly, then if it doesn't play out exactly the same, like right down to the atoms as how it did previously,
Well, let's not bring horoscopes into this.
then, no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying, like, if it doesn't,
Oh,
if things don't go exactly the same as they did the first time around, that means that other things must be changing, unless, your memories are retained, in which case things have already changed and we know why. But if things change, and that's just like a re-roll the dice situation.
Yeah.
Like, we take a few steps back and we say, what if X happens?
Yeah.
And that's a weird one to go with. Because
Yeah.
at that point, it's like, hey, how do you feel about every event in your life possibly turning out differently? Which, like, for a lot of people, would be an interesting one, but if you survived, like, if you were alive during 1963,
Yeah, I don't want to.
suddenly maybe
I don't
that's a
wanna-
really bad plan, because the Cuban
yeah.
Missile Crisis could go differently
Oh yeah,
during your
I don't
lifetime.
want a redo of the Cuban Missile Crisis. One time was enough. Thank you.
Honestly, I don't think I want to redo any of the Cold War.
Honestly,
so I'm lucky to be born in a
Yeah.
time period where that's entirely behind
Yeah, no,
us.
we only have future disasters to worry about.
Yeah.
Alright. As soon as this guy's tapping, I'm giving him a Cosmium Blast.
I love how Cosmium Blast sounds like something that belongs in an entirely, like, different sci-fi game, and then you look at it, and
Yeah.
it's like,
They could reprint that card with, like, a ray gun or something.
yeah.
So apparently Cosmium is this poorly explained subterranean magic that kind of looks like magnetic fields.
Is it actually named after anything cosmic?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh,
There's magnets in
mine's
space, I
dying.
guess. Just the door prize announcement, and look at that. We might go all the way.
No.
But probably not. Oh, counter stuff? Yeah, I can help with that. Alright, Eli, gotta do that shtick again.
Do what?
The shtick, Eli!
Oh. I've returned, briefly. Wow, this mic is, like, real sensitive. Are you as bothered by the volume of the mic? You can tell us if you are, because I'm sure we have the technology to do something about the mic sound, sort of. If you don't like it. Like, put a message in the chat and we'll probably respond to it in a timely fashion.
Okay, cool. It wasn't too bad. He just wanted his drink. You know,
Alright.
we do give a free drink with events, so, you know, you'd be a fool not to take advantage of it. What was it, a Pokemon this time? I gave you completely free reign, but,
What?
no, for these bits. Like, I thought,
Oh,
hey,
I just asked him if the mic volume was bothering them, because I noticed it jumped up into the red when I spoke too loudly into
it's
it.
supposed to do that every now and again.
I
Okay,
hope
this
it
is...
I don't know if, like, red is the emergency do not go here section, or if it's, like, that's your upper limit. Because I think of yellow as being the upper limit, but I try to
Yeah.
stay in the green.
It's okay to peek every now and again when you're real excited, I guess.
You gotta watch out when I'm, like, shouting something.
I don't
But
got any creatures. They have
otherwise-
taken a mulligan, though. I'll keep. This could be our last game, though. And you know what? Coming this far is alright, but I'd love to go the full way. Now, they did take a mulligan, which means they're sitting there somewhere. Alright. I'm actually gonna put the land on the bottom. I don't like having a board presence this late. But we got 2 artifacts out. Which means attacking when controlling 2 or more artifacts, that procs. Yeah. Kind of a weird choice of card design, you know? Put a 1/1 counter. I mean, there's probably stuff that cares about 1/1 counters, but like,
You know, I really thought that was a monkey the first time I looked
it
at
does,
it.
but no, it's a cat.
Weird.
It's a cat with a cat hat. Do I care about making it larger or just dealing the damage? Probably just. Okay, so this is gonna go up to a 5. It could block and kill, but they would lose a significant chunk of board. And I'm hoping they're just too scared to do it. Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm not gonna block with this, so let's take our extra 1 point of damage. I could get this flying. Looks like that might be a good idea given its flight presence. Or it might be a good idea to just proc the favor, get the trample. I actually don't know. Okay, they're gunning for our artifacts. Good news is they can only take one out. Well, that just made my solution a little easier. A bunch of gnomes. Cash it out now. Yeah, you know, we'll go again. Cars, place in the graveyard. Probably gonna swing. Let's draw it. A large amount of blockers. Shame to lose that creature, but you know, hey, worked out pretty. Oh wait, no, well, tap that. I can tell he's sweating up there. Gets haste plus X, where X is the number factor for an artifact. It's 5 currently. Boy. attacks, you may tap or untap target artifact or creature. Oh, just anybody's.
Oh.
Yeah. It says trample, so big tramp.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's not too.
Shabby at all. Are gonna lose it.
Does go out well though.
Wait, unless
Oh.
now we got enough to polish it off and his life total too.
Wow.
And I was thinking that card wasn't gonna be any help this game.
Yeah, no, it's.
Surprise!
In
I guess that
plenty
card
of the
get-
time it is.
I guess that card gets better the more unblocked creatures you have, right?
Yeah. It works best when there's when there's a creature imbalance in your favor.
Yeah, this could be it.
They got a lot of blockers on their battlefield, then you're not, that card won't help you much. But
Oh, yeah, that's all the way. That's 7 wins. We did it.
wow!
Yeah. That was really something. Did we get anything for that? Yeah,
Never
complete
seen this happen.
25
before.
limited events, guys. You saw it. Yeah, that's
Wow.
there. Alchemy mage, historic mage, none of this. Now the
Yeah,
next
put
thing.
that one in the book.
Yeah, no, flip it. Why not? Looks like we got 3 more wins to go on the track, though. And I'm okay with giving it to you. All right, these are our pack winnings from there.
Oh yeah.
I'm not expecting anything too earth-shaking, but it is nice to get the maximum possible payout. Molten Collapse. Destroy target creature, planeswalker. Destroy target non-creature, non-land permanent with mana value 1 or less.
What does descending mean?
Oh, descend means when a permanent card is put into your graveyard.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think they should have called it interred.
Yeah, well, the idea is like it was built around digging deep to the hollow earth, so...
Oh.
Yeah, and it has to be a permanent card, which I think is weird, but works. It's just... I don't know. You don't have to make a keyword for this, but
Well-
it does help when you can call out, like, descend things.
Having a little bit of shorthand works for this set.
Yeah.
Because this seems like it might be a common feature more than.
They could rework
this
this.
card.
I could see Descend becoming like a core dwarf mechanic, you know? Just digging deep and getting treasure, that's like all they're about, really.
Yeah, I really do want to see them carry some of these things over to other sets later
Yeah.
in the game. Because
They used to like do a 3-set rotation where like they'd have a set of mechanics and they got 3 sets to develop it, but now it's all one and done.
yeah.
I think they should like take the winning mechanics of the last 5 sets and then make something new with it. I don't know how you determine a winning mechanic.
Polls.
Yeah, probably. Why polls? Everyone's already got your information. I mean, they have Arena. That's bound to give us some helpful data.
Yeah, Arena gives us
Wild
some
cards,
samples.
wild cards back to back. Like, you'd be stupid not to use it with what I'm hearing. But you might be stupid.
We already have some unfortunate evidence.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, you know what? You're right. They've left a lot of money on the table in the past.
We've seen them
Yeah.
take the wrong move
Yeah.
before.
Especially as D&D players. You know, they have, at this point, I wish Gygax would come back from the dead and take it back.
No, then he'd reinstall the whole like women are weak.
Yeah, Gary
thing.
Gygax's women deserve less, yeah.
We can't
You know,
trust him
at
to
this
do the
point,
job.
if it gets the Pinkertons off my back, I'll allow it. But I would say that like there should also be an option to like force men to be uglier.
I wouldn't do any of that, but I would be in favor of selling D&D back to TSR.
Yeah. Well, I think the whole company's gone. So
I swear there was like a small resurrection of it at some
Yeah.
point.
I think there was just a TSR. Oh man, we're gonna be beaten down like that.
Like the whole Hydrox bit.
Yeah. You know. Don't fall for cheap knockoffs. Oh no. What is it like to lose your knockoff?
Which made itself more expensive to look legit is the best part
Yeah.
of this.
Be like if Bizarro won.
And then became hero of the entirety
Yeah,
of
Bizarro,
Metropolis
hero of
again.
Metropolis.
Oh.
I mean, you've already joked that comics are getting a little too high on their own supply.
Yeah. Honestly, I would be in favor of this being the new, like, redefining age of every superhero. Because, like, you know, we've done so much weird changes that people don't like. I think we gotta find an equilibrium that the fans will like again. But it's gotta be one that's a little different. You gotta...
I guess that's why the Absolute Universe has captured so many imaginations.
Same with the Ultimates. The
Yeah.
Ultimate Universe. Both times that Marvel has made an Ultimate Universe, it's been super successful because people are glad to finally get away from, like,
Canon.
yeah, 70 years of canon. Their problem. Actually, not 70 years of canon. Technically speaking, we're going on 86 now. Because that we extend back to Marvel Comics #1 in 1939.
I'm gonna say that like a lot of people scoff at canon, like they're like, "Oh, I'm so sick of canon. I wish we could get away from canon." But people don't mind canon.
Canon's
They just
good when you
hate
can
it when
read
it gets in the way of something new.
Yeah, canon's good when it's just there to make things more fun, not as like a mandate. Like
Yeah.
that's the issue with Marvel Comics was like in DC Comics, for instance, they did Crisis on Infinite Earths. So whenever you like now it was that whenever you saw something that looked like pre-Crisis canon appearing in the new stuff, that was just like a nice nod to the past. It was a nice callback for the fans who remember that time. For all the like Marvel things, it's been 86 years of one continuity, no change. Sure, there's retcons and things, but it's still working on, you know, the X-Men started in the 60s, Magneto was a Holocaust victim, Captain America was thawed out of the ice. Okay, listen, here's the thing. Captain America, yeah, he got into the ice, fell in the ice at the end of World War II, and that's supposed to be how he can be kept at the same age, but he thawed out in 1965-ish, I want to say. Like,
Super Soldier Serum?
I mean,
Yeah, it's a cop-out.
it's gotta be some strong stuff, because he doesn't look past 40.
Apparently there's like more than one brand of Super Soldier Serum. Hydra has a special sauce, the US government has a special sauce. Bruce Banner's projects was changed from bomb to a Super Soldier sauce.
Well, this was what they were doing in the Ultimate Universe, was like the whole driving force behind the Ultimates timeline was people want to make another Captain America, but nobody's good at it. So they're like, what if we blast him with gamma rays? And then that's not Captain America, that's a Hulk.
Radioactive spiders?
Radioactive spiders weren't the original thing, but
I like how that's just a thing they were doing. Like, use mutant spiders, and then maybe radiation, and we'll put it in the same lab. It's fine. It's
But
cool.
in the new, well, in the Ultimates timeline, I don't mean this current one from 2023. I mean the
I see what you're doing
2000s
here.
Ultimates. In the 2000s Ultimate timeline,
Gone to the Miles Morales Ultimates, yeah.
well, Miles Morales Ultimate timeline, but I'm talking about the Peter Parker spider here anyway. That spider from that timeline wasn't radioactive. It was exposed to the Oz drug, which is supposed to be some sort of wonder drug, according to one caption.
Probably made by Oscorp, because it got his name on
Bingo.
it. Yeah.
But it's supposed to do, like, funky science things, or I guess. and somehow that translates to superpowers.
Yeah,
I'll
I
take
mean,
it.
Look, can't like drink a magic potion anymore. It's got to be radiation or serum.
Whatever happened to the old days when you could just find a funky glowing lantern after a train explosion and put on a costume and call yourself a superhero?
I was always captivated with like some guy finds some isolated group of people and they give him the mystical doodad that makes a Superman.
As long as he isn't white.
And the guy is most often white.
Of course.
But I'll tell you this much, the Phantom, when one of those groups of uncontacted people discovered him, they freaking fell in love with the guy.
It's
Yeah.
you know, cycle continues
Yeah,
on.
no, it's... But wouldn't that make us the uncontacted people? And we gave them the mystical doodad?
Not because we came to them, right?
Yeah. Okay, so it's more of a Green Lantern. Although, like, instead of dying in a plane crash, we're just like, hey guys, here's some comic books and chocolate.
Yeah.
And you might want to get yourself inoculated. We are...
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're probably dirty.
You don't know how many diseases we got.
Dude, we have so many of them, like, there's whole societies that don't exist anymore.
Yeah, you know that's why we can't go to North Sentinel? North Sentinel is this island of people who haven't... They're still in the Bronze Age, and they haven't been contacted by the rest of humanity since, like, 40,000 years ago, according to some estimates.
And the thing is, we're just leaving them be, too. Like, you know...
Well, yeah, if anybody goes to them, they die of the things that we didn't even know were diseases, because they've just been in the rest of humanity's genome for a while. Because I don't think North
and
Sentinel...
anyone who doesn't, like, give them diseases, like, they throw sticks at them till they leave, you know?
Or shoot them with arrows until they eat them.
Yeah, I mean, look, they very clearly want to be left alone, and they make a good argument for leaving them alone. So, you leave them
There's
alone.
nothing to gain of talking to them besides infamy of being the person who blew it for North Sentinel.
Yeah. I mean, I am kind of interested to see if, like, their language is close to any old tongues, but... no, there's science to be gotten here. It's just, is it willing to risk the, It feels like we'll be cashing in on the honeypot, too.
What do you mean?
Well, I don't know. If we leave them longer, they might diverge even more. Like, basically, we have this nice little thing we can observe from the distance until one of us gets a little too curious and then ruins it for everybody.
Yeah. We got a nice little bubble going on here,
Yeah.
but we've got, okay, it's what I in my head think of as, okay, this will not make sense to anyone who isn't a big DC Comics fan, but Krona syndrome. Krona syndrome, after Krona of the Guardians of the Universe. Because, you know, the Guardians used to have this big old paradise on Oa where they lived in, like, a science-powered utopia, and nobody had to eat, nobody died, because everyone was immortal back then. And then Krona was like, hey, we want to figure out how the universe formed, because I do. And they agreed that, well, you shouldn't, because all the legends say that things will go bad when you try to figure it out. And, of course, Krona neglects this and, tries... What?
Yeah, he doesn't know. He's just going.
He's singing
We
We Didn't Start the Fire
yes.
way out of tune.
And it's not great, Billy. Don't quit your day job, which I guess is this.
Yeah, don't quit this, because then someone has to pick up the slack. But Krona tries to figure out the secrets of the universe using his fancy machine gizmo,
The
and
Gizmo Don Doodad or whatever.
accidentally this leads to the introduction of evil itself into the universe.
You blew it, man. You tried to cut the goose that laid the golden egg open. Oh, that should have been the example we used.
Yeah!
Oh,
Man,
it was right in front of us. Yeah.
Why didn't that occur to me?
Yeah, no. Sometimes I'm worried that, like, we're too brilliant, you know?
Well, it...
No, we're... Oh.
I wouldn't go as far to say that. 'Cause
Brilliant might be overselling.
then once I do something stupid, I just seem really conceited.
Well, I always say it with an air of irony, like, yes, no, me. Incredible genius. blew my nose in an. Okay, one more. Gets us the gamer crystal.
Not bad.
Dude, when I say I'm done with this mastery pass, I don't mean like just done with it. I think I'm just done in general. Like, I don't want to see it no more. We're just so damn close. And I want another one. I'm tired of this. Run it again. Oh, you're on camera, by the way. And you're off camera. Gotta let people know. Sometimes they forget. Yeah, just don't do anything too stupid. It's Twitch. You've been seeing what these people have been getting into? Oh, yeah, no. I didn't play it, and it might be my fault the studio went under, but don't worry, studio's back now, so...
Oh, thank goodness.
Yeah, like, my sins are alleviated, and I can't wait to not play the sequel, because I'm also... I'm that kind of person, apparently. There is going to be a sequel. The studio's been saved, and they're working on a Hi-Fi Rush 2. I mean, I hope there's going to be a sequel.
Watch out, I think this time they might wisen up and not make all all the soundtrack publicly available for use.
Well, I kind of feel like that was kind of their gimmick. Like, now it would go against the spirit of Hi-Fi Rush, you know? Oh,
Yeah,
I should have
it
done
was-
this backwards, so I exiled that.
It was
Oh, well.
part of the whole, like...
The magic.
I
Let's call it
guess-
the magic.
I guess you could call it, like, what distinguished them from everybody else. So I guess you could call it sort of rebellion, like, against...
It's definitely
usually
counterculture.
copyright everything that happens.
Counterculture, but not in, like, the lame ways that piss off your dad.
Yeah, it's not like they wore spiked jackets or anything.
Yeah, they went out dressed like that. No, it's just a gentle little push against the norm, you know.
Yeah.
They wanted people to be able to stream it, because that's, like, free word of mouth.
Yeah.
And not only would I say it's counterculture, I'd say it's also, like, sensibly counterculture. No.
Yes, it's in a very wise way, as opposed to, you know, running around with sunglasses on after dark.
Yeah.
There's
glad-
that kind of punk, and then there's
Yeah.
the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a reason people use punk as an insult. And there's a reason punks don't care that you do.
Yeah.
Oh no, not
Although-
this guy.
There was a punk before punks, and that would be the Beatniks.
Yeah.
And they... I don't know
I just
what
assume
happened to them. Like,
what was cool, or rather what they thought was cool, became lame. To be honest, this is a cycle that happens with every sort of youth counterculture,
Yeah.
right? You know.
but the weird thing was, like, the Beatniks weren't even a youth counterculture by the time they were most prominent in, you know, American...
Maybe punks
Thinking.
are getting younger. No, beatniks were probably like around middle age.
Well, I think a lot of the Beatniks came around because they were, like... They had been disenchanted with the world after, like, seeing the war.
I mean, that'll do anyone.
Yeah,
right?
that'll disillusion
That'll
you
do
for
it.
sure. But I don't know if, like, because I guess a lot of the punks of today are teenagers because they're, you know, seeking for a separate identity from their parents. Whereas, like, back then, you did what your parents did, was the whole concept. Like, it was like, my father was a tailor, so I'm gonna carry on the family business as a tailor. You know, that was the logic of the time. Nowadays, it's different. So I wonder if it's just, like, what dictates it is when you get the impetus, when you start to feel that impetus to be different from your, the people who raised you.
Like, it's just an urge to not become your dad.
Which, like, is something that all people naturally get to some degree.
I wouldn't say
But-
it's something to worry about.
Yeah, it's a normal feeling to have. And if you don't have that feeling, I don't think you should be really concerned or anything.
It'll happen when it happens.
Yeah, it comes and goes naturally.
Yeah, we're gonna lose this one.
But I think for a lot of, you know, stereotypical punks of the 80s and 90s, it was because they were not accepted by society. Either because they were just straight up assholes, or because, you know, they were gay, neurodivergent, and other things
Yeah,
that weren't accepted
Either
back
it was
in the 80s.
there was something wrong with society, or there was something wrong with them. You know?
Yeah.
Pretty sure Scott Pilgrim hammered home this point that, like, you know, some people will just enter, like, I guess you could call it smaller circles, and just be awful people. You know, like, you're not saved from being a bad person just because you have niche interests.
Yeah.
But, you know, who really cares what Scott Pilgrim has?
Yeah, I'm not always sure we should take Scott Pilgrim as being like this revelatory work on the meaning of life or anything.
No, I would put it up there with Catcher in the Rye. Like, never had a shoot John Lennon moment, but, you know.
Oh.
But, you know, it might have come close. Certainly, rank it as Clockwork Orange influential. Less as a cautionary tale, more of just a tale.
Yeah, I'm not sure even what it's like cautioning against or recommending for.
It's about self-respect and growing up, but, you know, that's just like surface deep. It's always something deeper.
Yeah, I think on one side of the spectrum we've got, you know, masterpieces like, okay, I know I'm biased here for certain, but Watchmen would be a good example of something that's got some deep messages in it and is like a serious novel with a lot of complex plot going on.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a reason why it's the only graphic novel, I believe, that's ever been on Time's list of 100 most important novels or something. No, one of them's a watchmaker.
Yeah, one of them fixes watches. He doesn't need to. It exploded. So there was a whole scene on it. Well, you know, they're supposed to watch the men.
True, but only like 3 of them were women.
I'm gonna level with you. I don't think the Watchmen were very good super.
Well, they weren't themselves called the Watchmen as a team. You had well,
Yeah.
first the Minutemen, and then for 15 minutes, you had the Crime Busters.
Yeah.
But I don't think you could ever sell a Crime Busters comic book. That would be.
They were not
it
good.
Would not go.
No, I just think, like, you know, because the way the comic ends, and that's regarded as the best possible outcome, they were just not good at their job.
Well, yeah, it's a Beware the Superman story.
Yeah.
Like it's a story where the existence of superheroes is hurting the world, and that's Alan Moore's point of view, and he points it.
He
well.
argues it quite well.
Yeah, he makes a good case for
All
it.
I'm saying is
And
if
then-
Superman was in Watchmen, it would be a very different story, and everything would have ended up great.
Well, the thing is, like, if Superman were in Watchmen, if Alan Moore wanted to put Superman in Watchmen, he would have made Superman
Yeah.
a very different
But Superman,
story.
no, I think the thing is, like, Superman doesn't exist in this world because it's the real world, and nobody could be that.
Nobody's like
nobody's
such a shining Boy Scout character as Superman.
Our world doesn't have that level of purity. It's just
Or rather, our world takes that level of purity and then, you know,
beats it out of
smashes
it. Yeah. We mock the pure of heart.
There's only so much time before a Superman kind of guy meets reality. And, you know, Alan Moore really does hammer home all these points and does a great job of it. And then on the other end of the spectrum of things with meaning that make good stories, you got, like, They Live.
The Lego Movie. Yeah.
No, I wouldn't even say the Lego Movie is a bad one. Lego Movie is somewhere in the middle.
You would put Lego Movie over more influential and important than They Live?
I'm not going on
Or
influential
no,
and
more
important.
philosophical than They Live?
Philosophical and valid, and valid in storytelling, like can push the message through in the story. They Live just trite social commentary. Like, yeah, I already knew all of this.
Yeah, wouldn't it be messed up if they were aliens? Yeah, so what, you know?
But it's like you got this odd, weird premise where someone who I guess before had no media literacy whatsoever gets handed these goggles of media literacy that are just sunglasses that he wears that turn the world into grayscale and tell him that all of the advertisements he's looking at are actually commands
Subliminal
subliminally
propaganda,
by
yeah.
aliens or whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the movie.
I think just the twist
It's
that like
weird.
all of this could be hidden in plain sight. That's the shocking part, and then you have the scuffles and the violence, and
and then it dragged itself on. And at some point, you start to realize
it's a
that
Twilight
actually,
Zone script that got forced into a movie.
Yeah, it's a Twilight Zone script, and it makes a good Twilight Zone script for the first 15 minutes, and then you look down and realize that we still got another hour to go as this movie punches and shoots its way through an army of random goons and stuff. And honestly, at some point, you start to think that the action scenes are the best part. Like,
Yeah.
Once you've gotten past the trite social commentary, also, or rather, if you already knew that the social commentary, if you already knew
yeah.
that bit of wisdom was true, because it's really easy to
It's
figure
one of
that
those
out on your
movies that
own.
knowing the twist doesn't mean anything. It's not even a twist. I'd say it's
not
the
a
damn
twist.
premise.
It's the premise that gets revealed immediately. It's not like a
All right,
it was
sacrifice-
his sled case.
Sacrifice those lands.
It-
Yeah, do it, buddy. You gotta sacrifice permanence. You damaged my Phyrexian obliterator, dude. I can't believe you did that. You can't believe you did that. You gotta sacrifice him, dog. Get rid of him.
You choose, Spider-Man. But
No, I think this is more of a Lex Luthor. You did this, Superman. You did this. This is your fault. Can't believe you pushed that giant robot, who knows where that came from, on top of that orphanage.
I love that episode of Justice League Animated where Lex Luthor tricks Superman into thinking that there's a secret danger hidden in one of the huge housing projects that Luthor's built. So he wrecks his entire housing development built for poor people who are gonna live in a tenement building. And
Yeah.
he's like, Superman, you just destroyed an apartment complex that was perfect. I built that for homeless people. Superman hates homeless people.
It was more like, I can't
Glorious.
believe you don't trust me, Superman. Frankly, I understand it, but you gave me your word that you trusted me. You wouldn't lie, would you, Superman? And it works because, like, Luthor knows he's a shady individual. So the twist of Lex Luthor isn't doing anything wrong is such an upset.
Yeah, no one expects when Luthor's a good guy.
He wasn't, not even I would say he was just not doing anything wrong. Just going about his...
Actually, that's it. No one expects Luthor to not be specifically targeting Superman with some asshole
Okay,
scheme.
Luthor, what's the catch? What's the secret twist to this? Nope, no catch. No catch, just city housing project. You know? Clean energy city housing project. What do you want? Superman's gonna hate this.
Yeah, I'm thinking back to the issue that introduced, the issue of Supergirl, actually, that introduced Lena Thorul, who, it's a pretty simple, it's actually one of the easiest anagrams to get, but Thorul is just an anagram for Luthor, because Lena was, by birth, Lex Luthor's younger sister, then got adopted by another family because Luthor at this time was still an unpopular mad scientist, not a businessman. He was like going out there and saying, I'm gonna kill Superman! Look at all this kryptonite I've got!
I don't know how that got there.
Yeah, I saw it earlier and it seemed...
Yeah, it's
I
just
swear
wrong.
it's moved.
Yeah, I moved the monitor over. It looks like it's moved. We don't have a flubber situation on our hands.
The flubber?
But you never saw Flubber.
Can't recall it.
Well, there's like an original Flubber, which is in black and white, and then there's like Disney's Flubber, and I think Robin Williams is in it. The premise is, through some sort of experiment with, I think, Bose-Einstein condensate, scientist creates what he describes as sort of an elevator rubber. It returns more kinetic energy than it gives off. It bounces, it molds, and in Disney's version is semi-sentient.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so like, no, it's not sentient goo, it's just normal goo. Honestly, pretty bang-up movie.
I don't even think that's goo, that's just water.
Yeah, well, what is water but loose goo? We lost a viewer for loose goo, by the way. I'm down for it. I stand by it.
Ugh.
But yeah, no, of all the guys, like, might not be old enough for you, but Flubber, when I think old movie, Flubber, it's always on TV.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
Never heard of Flubber, wow.
Yeah, I don't know what television you watch, but I don't actually watch that much television.
A lot of Ion. That's where I watched SG-1.
Yeah, the main TV show that I hold to is The Munsters, which is somehow unpopular in this town. as
Yeah,
it
no, we're a
happens.
very Addams Family town.
Which is
Or
bizarre
at least
to
that's the
me.
joke. You know,
Yeah, I
Everyone
never
hates
knew
the
that you had
Munsters.
like Adams Family towns and the Munsters towns. A thing where
well, I think I might have said it as a offhandedly, and I think you took it to heart. But the more I think about it, we're totally in Addams Family territory.
yeah, I never considered it, but now that I like look at it, this is definitely an Adams Family town. I've never seen someone mention the Munsters. I've always been the one introducing them to the Munsters. Even like old people here
Yeah.
who would have been around as children when the Munsters were airing. No, they don't remember it.
I think the Munsters might deserve a reboot or at least like a reimagining, like perhaps as a cartoon. Because the idea of mad scientist, definitely not Dracula and his wacky family.
Listen, every time they
Wait, is Rick and Morty just the Munsters? But with more swearing. We're on to you, Dan Harmon. We know what you're about.
Oh, that would be rich. But well, if you, I mean, a lot of like that plot got tossed around, like that sort of Rick and Morty style plot got tossed around.
Yeah,
Really, I
no.
think of it as like the crappy, insane version of the Venture Brothers plot. 'Cause you've got like mad scientist dad, and then
Well, clearly the-
reasonable sidekick slash kid.
Yeah, well, clearly the trope existed before Rick and Morty, but
Yeah, it just got appropriated there.
yeah. And I do like how the premise of Rick and Morty could be like a setup for a nice, wholesome family values show, but
Nope,
not here. No, it's all fart jokes and incest.
Oh god, the incest.
Yeah, I thought it was Dan Harmon doing it, but ever since Roiland left the show, there's been marketably less incest mention. I don't know what that means.
I think that's good though.
No, it's good, but that means that like it wasn't Roiland that was doing it. The incest was coming from inside the house.
But
Gonna be a rough
Huh.
one.
but the issue is whenever they try to do a Munsters reboot or like bring back the Munsters, it always
It's
well,
sabotaged by Adam's Family fans with car bombs. And
no, no. This is not the
not that level of conspiracy.
This isn't the Troubles. It's
No.
just well, then it's Hollywood Troubles.
Yeah, different types of troubles.
In the 1980s, they had the Munsters Today, which did kick off with the very Munster-style premise of Grandpa Munster has them all try out his human time capsule machine, where they hop into these beds and sealed glass boxes,
Yeah.
which is also the plot of a Twilight Zone
Yeah.
episode, by the way. But it works for this case because they'd always rip off things from the 60s.
Yeah.
So it gets a pass. And they're supposed to be sealed for 24 hours, and they will then wake up afterwards completely the same.
Quick in and out.
Yeah,
30-minute adventure.
yeah, great thing. And then a lightning bolt strikes the house, and the lightning
Because lightning
rod.
is always striking that damn house. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what you expected.
it's probably made of copper, but the lightning electricity somehow affects whichever like transistors Grandpa's used this time, and the time gets changed from 24 hours to forever, as it says on the big clock that he's
Yeah.
got. And so the plot picks up in the 1980s when the show was made, with two guys trying to investigate the house on behalf of a real estate agency who wants to sell it, well, renovate it and sell it,
Yeah.
or like bulldoze the land and sell
Because
the
it does
plot
keep
of
getting
land.
struck by lightning.
And the house has never looked great. It's full of cobwebs. It was apparently full of cobwebs before the house was empty too, so like, it's no good. And then, they accidentally wake up the family. they get scared out of their minds, and now the monsters are back 20 years later, and that's where it starts. And yeah, it wasn't. It's nothing to write home about, really.
Yeah, it seems cliche. I think we kind of gotta go like back, say like the monsters never happened.
It's like that 70s show
Yeah.
of the Munsters.
Yeah.
Cause like, you know, it's all like, oh, remember the Munsters? Yeah, that show from the 60s. It was great, and now it's here again.
Aren't you so happy? It's here again.
But it's
The
not that good. And then the other terrible reboot of the Munsters that happened was far more recently, like within the last decade, I want to say. And it was Rob Zombie's The Munsters movie. Yes, that Rob Zombie from
Yeah, I
White
know.
Zombie.
Dracula. Yeah.
Yeah, the advertisement, the trailer they ran for it is great because it opens with
Yes.
from the creator of House of 1,000 Corpses comes a movie, an all
family picture.
an all-family comedy picture, and it immediately cuts to the monster theme playing as it just goes through like, you know, it's a bad mockery of Munsters shenanigans. It's like, okay, you know how like Tijuana Bibles were cheap porno versions of old comic characters that were printed usually by the mob? This feels like a Tijuana Bible of the Munsters, except there's no sex. It's just like,
Just monsters.
yeah, but less Munsters, replaced by nothing else except color. It's in
Yeah.
color, and boy, is that not good. Because suddenly I can see, I probably
Yeah.
have entirely different reasons for it than the characters in the show, but I can see why people were running away from Herman Munster. Because Jesus, did they use the wrong shade of green on him? He looks like, okay, it looks like a much worse version of the 2005 Hulk. No, 2003 Incredible Hulk. Like, you know that weird lime green guy who is all flat, terrible CGI? Yeah, it's that, but it's like dark olive green. It's really gross.
Yeah, not pleasant, is
It
it?
doesn't look like corpse green or anything. It's like it's wall paint green. I don't like it at all.
Yeah, not really the complexion you wanna.
Also, in every single one of Rob Zombie's movies, his wife plays the female lead for some reason.
Huh. Well,
They never hire any new talent,
yeah.
and
What is this?
it's a real disservice because she's
Yeah.
not a bad actor, but she is not a good Lily Munster. Like
Yeah.
they gotta hire someone more like the original Yvonne DiCarlo, who firstly would hopefully look a little like her, and second would sound a little like her, but third would have the delivery, because this
Yeah.
just sounds like a. Yeah, I
not
think you
good.
could hire a better lady from like
Anywhere.
a cafe.
Yeah.
Like, I've heard random people in libraries who had voices that matched it better. But really, like, anywhere you can find someone who has a voice that sounds a little more like the original character. You gotta find a place that has, like, a large enough sample.
Yeah.
Uh,
It looks like everyone's running out of the shop, so I think we should probably run out of stream. Shame we can't get that. We'll probably just do it off camera, but you know, it's 50 going on. Paid party coming up on next Wednesday, so if you're into Warhammer, check our website. Good news on that. But that'll about do it. Take care, see you around, have a happy Memorial Day. Memorous Memorial Day.
I don't think you should say Happy
It's not
Memorial
happy.
Day, but
Have a bittersweet Memorial Day. Have a day off.
yeah,
have a Memorial Day.
enjoy the weekend.
Yeah, enjoy
is
the
far
weekend.
more acceptable
Yeah,
to say.
yeah, we'll say